Alright, what is going on, UTM26s? How y'all doing today? And welcome back to the Concussion Chronicles episode 5, I believe. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be doing a special edition Trash Talk Tuesday. And we are going to be critiquing some of my teammates, some of my teammate Cosmic's art. This should be fun. Cosmic, probably regrettably now, was nice enough to send me some of their pieces, or pictures of their pieces. So let's get into this. All right, I'm not gonna be looking at the lens because we're gonna be looking at the photos, obviously. So for this first one, this one I believe was a kindergarten piece. I can actually pull up that correctly right now. Let me make sure I'm correct in that. Kindergarten, yes. This is kindergarten. And, I'm a big fan of, giving props for something that's done, Maybe someone's artistic talent hasn't quite developed yet, and that shines through on this piece. But, Cosmic got the basis down here. You got the eyes, that sort of looks like a mouth. You have ears, right? And, it's more like a Christmas tree type of body. I don't know if that was sort of the intent, but, and then obviously you can see, this is, I would call this, what would I call this? This is a personified fake Christmas tree. That's what I would call it, because, you have the fake base, or, we'll call it a personified Christmas tree. It's because you have the fake base, or you have the base, which I guess could be the roots, and you sort of have this, like, pine tree, look to it, and so, for this one, I'd probably give it, again, as someone who understands that artists develop over time, we're going to give this one a 7, simply for what Cosmic attempted in this piece. Let's move on to the second piece here. I don't think I got a date-ish for this one. Yeah, okay, no date for this. So we'll have to judge a little bit more critical. We'll be a little more critical here. Now, I'm a fan of the design. It gets a little bit rough on the top edges. The lines aren't quite as crisp. So that's obviously going to deduct some points. But my main issue with this is obviously, it's a bowl or a sort of cup type of thing here. And the functionality is totally off. One, it's not really wide enough to be a bowl. So if you're trying to maybe put some soup in there, your spoon's it's gonna be tough, difficult angle to sort of get the spoon down to the bottom of the bowl. Now as a cup, the whole like rim is off. I don't know how it goes down and up and around, and it just doesn't make sense. So Cosmic, you're going to lose a lot of points for this one. We're going to give it a 4. Simply because, maybe you build up the walls a little bit. It's a little bit more functional. Widen it out, then you can put some soup in there. And I think you'd have yourself a good piece, but needs improvement. Sort of, I wouldn't say regressing, but the improvements I would expect have not been made in this piece. All right, now we move on to the third piece here. Much better shape. I will commend you on that. Obviously going for more of a mug here. The design's okay, not as complicated. I like how you went for sort of the tentacle look. It was well done. I'm especially a fan of the handle, and how you used I don't know whether they're beads or stones or whatnot, but it's a really nice aesthetic. Now, the issue with this piece, and again, Cosmic, your main issue here is functionality. How am I going to use that handle? I gotta hold it like this? Do you think, all right, let's pretend. I got my water bottle here. Imagine if I had to hold it like this, right? It's not gonna work. The angle that I have to rotate my wrist to just is not functional. Instead of it being able to hold like this, much easier. So you're definitely gonna be losing points for that. But you have improved your overall structure, so that's a big bonus there. We are seeing improvements now, which is a very good thing. And then again, you have this tail coming up the top. I could poke my eye out. That's a safety issue. So we're gonna deduct points here. I'll because Cosmic, I like you, we'll give it a 5. You're barely a 5. You're like at a 5.0000. Getting very close to that 4.9. Now we move on to this bowl. And alright, I'm not going to deduct points for it having really awful edges, because I understand that you were not going for you weren't going for like a bowl, like for a cereal bowl or something. This was meant to hold change, some sort of item like that. You were not going for an eating bowl here, which I understand, so don't worry about that. Now, but what my issue with this is, it's just a lack of complexity, right? Like, you go from the tentacle mug where you have like all these nice designs on it, and even the oddly shaped bowl before that, you have nice texture. It's just a flower. It's a flower bowl. And yes, you have the leaf on the bottom, which is a very nice touch, and you'll get some extra points for that. But, I mean, like, really? Like, you probably took some, I don't know, maybe you basically, you just traced out 4 petals, stuck them together, added a little leaf at the bottom, and moved on. Where I really would have liked to see you go with this is go for more of a chalice look, add the stem, and really like emphasize the fact that this is a flower, right? So you'll lose points for that, but it's a really nice clean look, and for your intent, it's a nice piece. So you know what? We'll give it a 6. Okay, we'll move you up another step there, and we'll give you a 6. Now, this piece, where do I start? So many issues. 1, I don't know what it is. I would like a few more camera angles. It's unfortunate that we don't have those, because I'm very unsure if these side pieces, the gold there, if those are open on top. I can't really tell from the image that I was given. If they are, that would probably add some points, so I'll give you a half point for that. No, quarter point for the potential. But if I end up finding out later, that is going to deduct that quarter point, because that's something you maybe should have done. Now, I'm assuming the top's open, and if it's not, this thing gets a 2. I'm sorry, because and also you have no. There's nothing. There's no continuity with it. I don't know what it is. Like, part of it looks like a vase, but it could also be part of a guitar. I just don't know. The color scheme is nice, and you have a nice pattern on the middle portion, but then you just painted the sides gold. It honestly, it's sort of it's lackluster, to say the least. And I don't know, it's just a pretty weak performance. We'll have to give you a 4 for this one. Honestly, maybe with a few more pictures, we'll give you the 4 1/4, because obviously you get the quarter point. But a few more pictures, maybe a little description. You could, if you really convinced me that this was a quality piece, I might be able to bump it up 2 points, maybe give you a 6. But this is really going to top out at a 6. It's too big and too bulky, and I just don't see any functionality for it. So, sorry, but we're going to leave you to 4 1/4 there. All right, moving on. Now, Cosmic is a huge fox person, and we actually have 2 fox images, so I'm going to show you the second one here for a little bit. I believe these are all different pieces. I think we have a total of 7 foxes. Let me check that again. Yeah, we have a total of 7 foxes here. So, and I'll be switching back and forth between the images, because we're going to assess the all 7 as a whole. Now, you do foxes very well, and they are very artistic. I like them a lot. I think this is probably your best pieces right here. But my issue is that I know you probably weren't going for realism, but those tails are just too big. I've seen a fox before, and some of these tails, like, they're just too big. Now, we'll move into more of my bigger issue here in a second, but I don't know. Tails are too big. It looks like you maybe missed some spots on the left-sided one, and this out of these 4 here. Maybe on the toe of the front left one too. I can't. Maybe I'm not. I can't really get a good look at it. So there's just a few workmanship issues here. This one, the one on the right here, is a little dinged up at the bottom near where it's I don't like feet. I guess would be few issues there, but overall, I like the style. I'm a huge fan of that, and so that's you can't go lower than a 5 on these. Where my issues stand is that the animal cruelty that comes through in these pieces is unbelievable. One, they're stuck in that position. What are they going to do with their necks? Right? Their necks are going to get tired, and you know what? They're not going to be able to put them down. Like, it's a huge issue. Secondly, some of these foxes' tails are attached to their bodies. Do you know how uncomfortable that would be? Look at this one. Look at this one, the front left one. How it can't move. It can stand up, and then what? It's like stuck to itself. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. I can't believe that you would ever do this. Secondly, then you literally, it looks like those two are attached. I'm not 100% positive. Maybe there's a little gap there. But if those are attached, Cosmic, unbelievable. I can't believe you would do this to foxes. One of your favorite animals, and you just attach them to each other, Cosmic. This could get you sent to jail. Unbelievable. And again, you have the tail attached to the fox. Like, what are you doing? It's honestly sad. And because of that, I'm going to deduct you 4 points. Or, well, no, probably I'll deduct you 2 points for the, I'm trying to, give my grade based on what they would be if we were not taking into account animal cruelty. And I would probably have given these an 8. Everything with that said, though, I'm going to give you a 6. Moving on. Okay, that's the same. Those are the fox again. And we're going to be focusing on the squid here. Obviously, this is an unglazed project, which I will deduct a point for simply because, I would like finished products. Now, you do a really nice job here. And I'm not taking too many issues with the animal cruelty. Maybe that one tentacle is going to get a little tired. That's sticking up in the air. But otherwise, no issues. Obviously, being placed in water will obviously help once it is totally finished. But I understand that we are not to that point yet. So no points deducted for that. Secondly, because you're going for such a realistic look, I don't know. I'm not 100% sure that, you really hit it on the head. You know what? Actually, we're going to pull up a picture of a squid for reference. That is not what I wanted. Yeah, okay. So this is what I thought. Main issue here, no eyes, right? Because you were so careful and meticulous with your choices, and maybe the eyes are hidden. I could be wrong. If there's eyes, this piece, when it's done, for probably giving it an 8 if it is glazed well. Not right now, giving it a 7. Obviously, we're taking off that 1 point. But no eyes. I understand maybe the eyes wouldn't look good, but you know what? I really think you took some artistic liberties, really gave it some nice, big, standing out eyes. Really be a good piece. For right now, we're going to give you a 6.5 because, I'm a nice person. Moving on to the final piece. Now, this piece here is very interesting. Obviously, it's still a work in progress. But again, you're falling into this sort of, I don't know what it is. I'm not really sure what you're going for here. Obviously, I see your body, which is pretty good looking. The feet seem a little long for me, but that's okay. It's, everybody's taste in art. It's whatever. I'll leave that up to you. You have the skull and the jaw looking good. The arms, I'm a little questionable on those. I believe they're arms anyways. I'm not really sure how I feel about those, but no points deducted here. But again, your issue is you have no identity with this piece. It looks like you tried to fuse 3 different Pokemon. You got the body of a Quagsire, the head of a Marowak, and the arms of a Trevenant. It's just a little out there, and I'm not really sure how that's working for you. And then you have the what am I trying to say here? God dang it. You have the spikes of a Sand Slash on the back there. So you've really got 4 Pokemon in here, and I'm thinking it's a little too much. You know, I'm just not... I mean, I understand what you were going for, and I appreciate your effort, but I don't know. Maybe once the finished product comes through, I could really like see it, and then maybe you get a little bit of a higher grade. But for this one, I think you tried to do too much, and you didn't really execute on. You didn't execute fully on each individual section of it. So for this one, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to give you. You lose a point for it not being done. I will start you at a 5 because I think the piece has potential. So now you're down to a 4 because of that. I'm probably going to have to sit you at a 3. I'm sorry. I know this was probably a piece that you were really excited about and you really thought it had great potential to be probably one of your better pieces yet, but I don't think you capitalized on all your ideas, and I think you really let yourself down on this one. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Obviously, if you enjoyed, please remember to earthquake that like button. Go Cubbies, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye!